This is Cassandra Williamson, and I am getting ready to leave from Dorsey's. And I'm going to tell you, I think everybody loves coming here. I know I do. I remember getting banana splits, like advertised on their front of the store. The lady at the window, she said they've been here since 1962. Now, I did just a short clip just a minute ago of this, but my God, this food has always been good, best. And I know everybody comes around here. If you're ever in the Pikeville area, you need to stop over here and check this out, because it is definitely everybody knows about Dorsey's. Everybody. So I'm going to go on back to. Got to go there and check on my brother and sister. Mom is doing well at the hospital. If anyone's listening, I'd leave her there for a minute. My sister, Ed, I don't know if she's coming over tonight or not, but I know she's tired. She works at the hospital too. But anyway, I'm going to head on over to Hardy and check on my brother and sister, because I'm back here as the caregiver for a lot of people. And which is good. I'm retired, my family is my immediate family. All my kids are grown. I've got grandkids all over the country these days. And so we're all ex-military or former military. Some of us are still in with the National Guard and stuff. So a big shout out to my family wherever they might be right now. You see, I've got an amazing family out in Kansas and 4 grandchildren out there, an ex-wife who I love dearly. And then I've got 2 daughters down in Alabama and 2 grandsons down in Alabama, and some amazing sons-in-law down there, sons-in-laws, sons-in-law, I think might be the correct way. And let me see, my oldest child is 40, not child, lives in Tucson, Arizona with his girlfriend, but he has 2 daughters, and one lives in Texas, graduated just this past year from high school, and then another daughter up in Wisconsin. And he was in the Air Force for a while, almost 10 years, 8, 9.5 in the Air Force. Got ripped out. He's on with the Predator squadrons for the Air Force. And I can't really tell you much about that. I know a lot about what he did, but I don't want to say all that on here. I say he was the best at what he did, the very best. And I don't know whether to laugh or cry about that, but it's still, he was the best. He was literally the best at what he did. Oh yeah. Yeah. So we're all connected to the military. My dad was in the military. Dad was in the Navy back in the 50s, 1950s, and he actually he was in the Seabees in the Navy, and built the test platforms on which they would attach atomic bombs, blow them up, and then they'd get them, all those, the sailors and the soldiers and the Marines who were around, they'd get them all to swallow a deceiver on a string, fly them through the darn radiation cloud, the explosive, the mushroom cloud, and just to see how much radiation they'd get. Yep, that's what my dad did. He was definitely a guinea pig for the Navy. And I always had this question too about it, because I said, Dad, they knew what radiation would do to you. They knew it. And they said, how do you know? I said, well, less than 10 years prior to you doing all that, they blew up 2 atomic bombs over Japan. They knew the amount of destruction that stuff would cause and the harm it would cause to the community and the people and everything else. They knew, but they wanted to test it. And he was part of that. He was part of it. I had friends whose dad was in the Army, and they were stationed on a troop carrier ship in a perimeter around like Bikini Atoll and different ones in the Western Pacific where they blew up those bombs, because the military wanted to the impact. And lo and behold, I'm sure they found out. I've been tied to the military for a long time. And somebody over on Twitter, this person who calls himself a pastor, now, he's entitled to do and believe what he wishes, but I'm going to tell you, it doesn't match any kind of thinking that I understand about Christianity at all. His name is Joel Weebon, W-E-B-O-N. And today he posted something. I don't think he meant this satirically or satire at all. But he was saying we need American leaders to make it right straight up. He's a white nationalist. That there are too many minorities have taken over. They're going to have too much influence and everything like that. And he just bases it on his Bible understanding, which I don't understand at all. I do try to communicate with these people, at least give them an opportunity to explain themselves to me, but they won't talk to me because I'm one of those disordered trans people. That's got to be what it is. That's probably the exact same reason that Secretary of the VA, Collins, won't talk to me either, because he's afraid of libs of TikTok. If Pete Hegseth or Doug Collins or Secretary Kennedy within the Trump administration on that right now, if they chose to talk with me as a trans person, a veteran of the United States military, if they chose to talk to me, people like the libs of TikTok and this Dr. Chase, whoever that person is that feeds them information, who's in the Army, feeds them the information, says, here's a person who has pronouns in their bio and who has been talking to trans people, and you need to fire them. I mean, they're the gatekeepers of this crap, huh? But anyway, so they're blocking all of this, and these leaders in the Trump administration know that all they have to do is tag Pete Hegseth to the president, and it doesn't take long, they'll be fired. So I'm sure that's why Doug Collins will not talk to me. I have pleaded and pleaded and pleaded with him to talk to me so I can let transgender veterans know what's going on. Anyway, yeah, I'm likely to lose you. I'm back on Highway 119 going toward Hardy and just left Michael City proper. Came across town. I'm out here at the Zebulon exit off 119. So I hope everyone has had a really good day. I know my microphone on. I don't know if it's on or not. Oh, I think my microphone is, there it is, it came on finally. So I think you can hear me now, can't you? I hope. I've got another microphone here somewhere, I just have to get it out and have it ready to roll. These little old microphones are pretty good. These little tiny things, they're pretty darn good. Hope I've got the extras here. Reba Lucas, how you doing? Cousin Reba, way out in Colorado. I got to be with them, Reba and her sister Barbara. I guess it's been 3 years. On top of the mountain there. On top of that mountain. Really pretty place. Her talk show or not, she's a lot of Western music, or Western music and / country music. Older style, older music, and really pretty good. I got to see her record collection. That's like walking into the Library of Congress. There's actual vinyl records everywhere, organized on the shelves, just shelves and shelves of vinyl records. I've got a collection. I thought my friend from Annapolis had a collection, but I purpose got him beat. Anyway, thanks everybody for watching. I know I'm going to lose some people here along the way probably, but I do want to give a couple of shout outs. One is family. That's the first and foremost thing. My brothers, there's cousins, all over. Anyways, and there's several nurses and LPN there. We were chatting, and I said, "Look, you look really like my family somewhere." And I said, "Happy family who came down Brushy Creek, did you?" And she says, "As a matter of fact, yes, her grandfather was there." I said, "What was her last name?" She said, "Yeah, well, cousin, glad to meet you." Yeah. And another young lady, she was standing there, and I said, "So, are you from in Pike County too?" And she said, "Yes." And I said, "Well, where are you from here?" She said, "Well, my family's from over in Wheelwright, but my dad's family's from," or she said, "but my other half of the family is from Japan." And I go, "Okay, so we're probably connected by the Wheelwright side of it, but I don't think we're connected on the Japanese side." And I asked her, so where in Japan? It must have been, let's see, uh, connected to the Navy, the Marines. She said Marines. I said, yeah, figured as much. But, she has never been to her father's people there. So, anyway, she does want to go. I think it would be great. I'd love to go. I've never been to Japan myself. I'd love to go there. It's not on my bucket list, but I still like to go. So, yeah, I think it would be absolutely awesome to go. I do have a bucket list, though. I've been to all the lower 48 states. I absolutely enjoy every state. They all have unique communities, unique cities, unique cultures, really, in each of the states. Things that make them different and unique. And I'll tell you a couple of stories, if you don't mind. And I'm trying to do something different than what my usual ranting and raving is all about. So when I was up in Michigan, I went to Iron Mountain, Michigan. I went to the lower part of the state as well, like where cornflakes were made, battle something, Michigan, Ann Arbor, Michigan, and Saginaw, Michigan, and Detroit, Michigan. I've been to all those places in Michigan. And Iron Mountain is across the lake up on the other side, and it's right above. I think it's the Wisconsin state line, just right on the Wisconsin state line, northern part of it, and not very from Canada. It's right up there. I've had different up there at the VA facility, and some really good people here. And I always made it a point of eating. I'd go eat breakfast at the VA facilities in the states that I visited, because I wanted to be able to there sit down and just get a sense of things at those VA facilities. So I'd go eat breakfast at them for the most part if I could. After the meetings with the leadership and some veterans there in the area, they said, "Now you've got to go out in town. There's a restaurant just off the campus out here, and all it specializes in this one food that you will only find here in Iron Mountain, Michigan." And they said it originated, without telling me anything else about it, they said it originated in the iron mines of here. It originated in the iron mines, back a number of years. And when the miners would go underground and the boxes were hot, all the equipment was hot, and they would bring with them what they wanted to make for their lunch. And they would make their own lunch, but they'd get on those hot boxes. So, they'd bring some dough if they wanted to, and potatoes, egg, meat, ham, whatever, different types of things, and they put it into this dough, fold it up into a little thing like a pastry, but it could be fruit or whatever that was in there. But they called it a pasty because it never got fully brown, but it was done. So they called this thing a pasty, and there was a restaurant that served nothing but pasties. And when they told me the name of it, I said, I think you and I may have a slightly different understanding of what a pasty is. I'm just dying laughing, and the ladies who were with me, they go, oh, yep, yeah, yep, absolutely. We sure do. But I did try one of the pasties out in town, and it was all right. Not, you know, I'm glad they have something that they call their own. The one I had, though, had chocolate in it, and it was decent, you know. They didn't, I don't know if they deep fried them or not, but whatever they were doing, they actually took it. I mean, it wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. Interesting, let's put it that way. And let me see, out in Long Beach, California, at the VA out there, that's a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful campus. It looks out over the ocean, but it looks like this big aircraft hangar or some kind in the cafeteria, and it's just wide open glass everywhere, and you can see out, and it's just gorgeous looking out through there. Just a fantastic and beautiful place. And the breakfast there, I had breakfast there, and it was fascinating to me because their breakfast came with a lot of things you won't find anywhere in the middle of the country. Not for breakfast. They had the sushi, they had breakfast sushi. They had with sushi on it, avocados and stuff. And I love the San Francisco style of eggs Benedicts. And that just has avocados in it. And it's all sauteed. And you put the eggs on there. You put your whatever type of meat you like. It could be Canadian bacon or any kind of meats really underneath there. And then you put hollandaise sauce over the top of it. And I mean, it was just gorgeous there. The LA VA system, their cafeteria, I met with them, it looks out over the ocean too, and it was just stunning. And, they had a lot of property there, though, that wasn't being used properly, and I believe they're trying to convert it all to being used for taking care of veterans now, for homeless veterans, which is a good thing. A lot of space, a lot of ability to put homeless veterans in. Right there in LA at the VA facility there on the property that they own, the VA owned properties. And let me see. Anyway, like I said, I visited VA facilities all across this country. And the one thing that I heard from veterans, and I'm talking about all veterans, any veterans, but my target population I was specifically dealing with were transgender and LGBT veterans, but all veterans, everywhere. I saw no one who was really totally, completely dissatisfied with the care they were getting at the VA facilities. As a matter of fact, statistically and the record-wise, even with VA internal numbers and even the stats that I had gathered as part of a research project later on, the satisfaction rate was about 84 to 85%, 86%, somewhere in that range, depending on who conducted the survey and stuff like that. But satisfaction was great with the VA people who were there and the veterans who were getting the care. Now, 15% veterans who weren't satisfied is still a massive number of people. There's what, 17 or 19 million veterans in the country. So 15% of that, you're still looking at what? What's 10% of 19 million?